Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
Fine. How are you?
I am so excited to have you on this video today. I've been following you for a while.
Thanks for having me.
I have just seen all the awesome things that you are doing, and I am super curious as to how you're able to do it all, manage it all, and I'm excited about today's conversation.
Me too. It's exciting.
So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to just introduce you to those who may not know who you are and know some of the things that you're doing. And I want to welcome everyone to Nakia Purefoy, who is also known as Kay's Chronicles.
Key.
Keys Chronicles, yes, Keys Chronicles. Um, Nakia has a blog. She has a YouTube page. She's a vlogger. She has 5 children, and she's married. And she also homeschools her children. She has a lot going on, and I follow her on Instagram and on YouTube, and she's doing so many things that are instrumental to her family and to her passion and to the things that she's looking to pursue. And I am so excited to find out how you are able to do all these things, and not just how you're able to do them, but what prompted you or what motivated you to even get started in this vein.
Whew. Well, thank you. It is a lot to talk about. We're going to have a lot to talk about tonight, which is exciting. I'm excited.
So tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay. So I'm married. We've been married for 8 years. We have 5 kids and a dog now. Our kids range from ages 2 through 16. So we have a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 16-year-old.
Wow.
And yes, and I homeschool all of them. We also have child actors in the house. Right now, there are only 2 child actors in the house. So, I deal with taking them to New York City and working with them. And my husband is a big help. So, like, I will not take all the credit for tonight because he is a huge help in our household. But yeah, that's our family.
Wow.
We do a lot.
So tell us more about homeschooling. I have an 8-year-old, and when I had him, well, 8 years ago, when I had him, I was just like, there were so many things going on with the school districts, and I also have 5 kids. So my oldest is 21, and my youngest is 8. So I was kind of like, I'm going to homeschool. I don't want him to go into the school district and maybe have to deal with some of the things that not only did they have to deal with, but me as a parent had to deal with like the education system and the curriculum, and just feeling like that they weren't getting the best that they could get.
Yeah.
And then really concerned about raising a boy in the school system. So in the back of my mind, even though it hasn't happened, I've always been like, I am going to homeschool him. Oh, like, he's not going to be in the school system forever, right? So what prompted you guys to make that decision?
Well, it wasn't until after I had Ariana, I was like, they were still in school and I was working before I had her. So once I had her and I started staying home with her, I was like, let me just teach her myself. So when she was 1.5, I just started teaching her. When she was 3, she was reading. And God like put it on my heart, like, you need to just homeschool your kids. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Yes, just like that. I was like, no, no, thank you. I'm good. And that same year that I was disobedient, because that's exactly what I was, like, because I didn't do it. That same exact year, I had so many problems when my son Jaden was in school. So he was, they diagnosed him with ADHD. I was in the school, between me and Sean, we were in the school like every week I felt like we were in the school all the time, talking to teachers, you know, he can't sit still, he can't do this, he can't do that, you know, bringing home bad grades. And I'm like, you know, at the end, towards the end of the year, I'm like, this is exactly what I get. I was like, because if I was obedient from jump, you know, like we wouldn't have all these issues. So I decided to, you know, to actually keep him home the following year. And once I decided that, you know, all the kids would be home, and Xavier was like, well, I'm not going to go to school with all these kids.
And he's your oldest?
Yes, he's the oldest. So he's like, can you homeschool me too? And I'm like, why not? Sure, I'll homeschool you too. And that happened to be the same year where he started acting. He really kicked off the child actors in our home. So that's the same year that he started acting. So, you know, with going back and forth to New York City and homeschooling was actually it became easier as well. So that's how we started, and we're still homeschooling. What is that, 3-4 years now?
Wow. So look, the homeschooling, do you have like a curriculum that you get from someone else? And is there like, do you have to be extremely disciplined and organized to do that?
You should be kind of disciplined and organized. But the state of New Jersey is really lenient when it comes to schooling. So they solely put your child's education into your hands. I do get my curriculum from christianbook.com. You know, so that was another thing. Outside influences, you know, I wanted my kids to just not learn about Jesus. You know, like I just wanted to be a part of their curriculum, a part of everything, science, you know, a part of every aspect. And so I got their curriculum from christianbook.com. But yeah, I basically, there's this thing called unschooling where you can do what you want. You can go, it's like children-led learning. So like if your child says today, oh, can we learn about this? You know, then you dig into that and you teach them everything about that one topic. You know, we don't do that. We have a curriculum that we do. And all I have to do is stay on task. All I have to do is keep going with the lessons. You know, once I keep going with the lessons, they keep doing great on the lessons. You know, that's all I really have to do. High school is a little different because there are transcripts that have to be involved in that. So I do have to keep his grade records and stuff like that so that I can make transcripts. But so he's a little different, but everybody else is, I just have to keep doing their lessons.
Do they test? Do they have to take tests?
They don't have to. Well, regular tests or like state tests?
Like state tests.
No, they don't have to. They don't have to. New Jersey is really lenient. But as long as they, you know, my husband always says, do they know, you know, are they on task? Like, do they know, are they on grade level? And because he's a teacher. So he's coming from a teacher's point of view. And I'm like, they're okay. They, you know, they got this. They'll be fine. So,
well, I'm sure that's extremely helpful that he's a teacher as well.
Yes, it is extremely helpful.
So tell us more about your blog. I was looking on your website and you had a blog. I think your latest blog is about feeding a large family on a budget. I know this too well. Okay. These kids eat. I'm like ready for people to go. Oh, yeah. But you said you did it. So you fed a large family on $200. Is that like your monthly budget?
No, it's not. It was a budget that we put together for 12 days, and I could go shopping for 12 days, and I only had $200, and I had to feed this family of 7 for 12 days. It was so crazy. Like, but when I did it, I realized how much money I do just waste on food. Like just getting whatever when I go to the store. So it really put things into perspective. It definitely put things into perspective.
So so we had to start like hiding food.
Well, I hide food. I hide it. I ration it. I hide it. I write names on it.
We have actually a separate refrigerator in our bedroom, and we have like a separate like container that's sealed in our room where we put all the snacks in there because they will eat all the snacks up.
Everything. Yes, in like a day, right?
Yeah. I'm like, wait, I went to Costco. I didn't go to ShopRite. Like, why don't we have anything?
No way.
Yeah.
Yes, I get it. I totally understand, especially my teenagers. They kill me. So I just this is yours. This has your name on it, or this is how many of this you can have. If you eat it, that's it for you. You're done. You're getting cut off. So that's how we work that out.
Wow. So how do you start your day? Because I mean, what time does your day start?
My day usually starts at between 6:30 and 7.
Okay.
I try to be up by 7. When I was working out like really heavy in the morning, I was trying to get up at like 6. So between 6 and 7, I'm definitely up. My husband leaves for work at 7. So I hope to be up, by the time he leaves. But yeah, I'm definitely up, and I usually, do devotion, work out. If I work out, I got to shower, like before the kids get up and mayhem happens in the house. This one wants juice. This one, so.
You find time being a mother is so demanding, especially homeschooling. So it's not like you're getting a break.
No.
Everyone is there. And then your husband comes home. You have to be a wife. And then you're a blogger. Like, when are you writing these things? When are you recording? When is all this happening?
Well, I find it easier to record during the day, like when I'm going about my day, because I do daily vlogs. So it's like a day in the life of a homeschool mom, or, we're doing this today, going on this adventure today, type of thing. So we just take the camera along with us, and that makes it so much easier to record as I'm going along. Yeah. When it comes to writing, it's honestly really hard, but I have to just make time, schedule time. So at night, if my husband's editing a video, because he'll edit most of the video. So if he's editing a video, I'll be writing, and for the blog, or vice versa. So I don't know. It's crazy.
So do you have like late nights?
Some days, like 12, 1. I don't know. That's not too late, but I mean, when I oh my God,
I'm like, what is happening? If I go to sleep, I'm a little bit older, but if I go to sleep at like 12 or 1 o'clock, like the next day, struggle. It's a struggle for me it's a struggle for me.
Yeah.
So I guess you have your balance going.
Yeah, I try. But if I can't, I don't I do get up. I have to get up because of my kids. I'm like, I have to. So, yep. It works though. It works.
So well, actually, not how do you, what motivated you to start doing these things, like to start doing a vlog and to start doing a blog, and even having your son, did he spark the interest in you, or did he spark the interest to act, or was that something that you kind of, for him? I guess I'm asking you a lot of questions.
Yeah, I think I can remember them all. Okay, so the first one, motivation.
Right.
I started my blog Ariana was born 2011, so I'll say 2011, I think it was. It was called to be a Stay-at-Home Mom. That was my first blog. And it was basically an outlet because I'm not a very good communicator outwardly. So
I cannot tell.
Yeah. It's crazy because I'm a writer, but growing up, I never liked to write. I would only write if I was like writing a song, or I needed to communicate something to my mom, or, I would write it out, things like that. So I really wanted to share my testimony back then, and called to be a stay-at-home mom. And also I wanted to, like, I had devotions on there. Like, I just wanted to encourage other moms that, you know, this is your calling. You know, if this is your calling, you know, like, walk in it. You know, God has something for you, and, you know, you got this, basically. And because being a stay-at-home mom is hard. It is so hard. Like, it is not easy work, you know, like, we should be paid.
I'm going to tell you what really encourages me and really intrigues me is when I had my third child. I have 3 girls, right? When I had my third daughter, someone said to me, how are you going to really give them any quality time, like working, right? And so I was like, oh, you're right. How am I going to do that? They're going to suffer, right? So I decided to stay home, and it was so challenging. It was so challenging. And when I ended up going back to work for other reasons. That marriage didn't work out. But I ended up going back to work, and I would find like relief.
It's like a break.
Yes.
Like, ooh, go to work.
I love this, right? I have so much respect for people who, and I have friends that one was in education, another one, her husband's in education, but they made the decision and the choice to stay home with their kids. And like, I so, not that anything's wrong with my children, but I so see the benefit of them making that investment in them. And it is an investment.
It is. It is.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
I see you, girl. I see you. I see you. Well, I know you said that the blog was an outlet for you.
Yes.
To share your story. And I'm so, at Tisha Talks, we're such advocates for people sharing their story. And so when you begin to do that, what was the response of the women?
Oh, it was huge, actually. Like, wow, keep telling your story. And it's weird because I don't really tell my story often anymore. Like, you know, I told it there and I told it on our family YouTube channel. And, but I probably should tell my story a little bit more. However, I don't. But the response was really big. It was huge.
Can you summarize your story for us?
Sure. Let's see. I am a pastor's daughter. My dad is a pastor and my mom's a minister. I got pregnant when I was 18. Had, obviously out of wedlock, had Xavier. I was dating a drug dealer at the time. He is now deceased. Got married to the wrong man. Was verbally abused, close to physically abused. Really, 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 I might as well just say. Got a divorce, and I was like in a really dark place. And, you know, I kept something just told, it was probably God, but something just told me, you need to get back into church. You just need to get back into church. Cause I wasn't going. It has been like years. I wasn't going. And I was tired, you know, like, I was a single mom of 2. I was doing a good job raising my kids. You know, I was living on my own and had my own car and stuff like that. But I was just like, I knew that God had more for me. I'm like, this can't be what my life is supposed to be. Like, these are not my dreams. Like, I didn't, you know? And I remember giving my life back to the Lord. And it was literally a week later, and my husband sends me a message. Like, I gave my life back to the Lord. I changed my name back to my maiden name on Facebook. And it was a week later, and he found me. And we started like talking and stuff like that. And that was all she wrote from there. But so that's my story. That's the summary of my story, you know. I could go deeper, but maybe we'll say that for another time.
Yes. I'm listening to you, and we have some similarities. I wrote a book called Second Chances, and basically, it's it's not officially my story, but it is based on actual life events. And I too got pregnant at the age of 19, and got married and got divorced, and then got remarried, and was in that place of just like, I cannot do this anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot do this anymore. And I had that reconnection with the Lord. And I mean, it was a quick thing where my husband found me, my now husband found me. And so a lot of similarities. So that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very interesting. So you started the blog,
yes,
as an outlet to share your story. How has it evolved since then?
I try to make it more of a service. So, you know, all the things that I've learned from there till now, you know, as being a mom, being a wife, during my fitness journey, you know, a little bit of everything is sprinkled into Keys Chronicles now. But yep, so
I think it's so important. One of the things that we always talk about, and when passion meets purpose, is that, you know, we were all created with a purpose, and we all have a story to share.
yeah,
And, you know, I believe as women, we have a responsibility to share that story so that other people don't have to repeat that same dynamic, or
yeah,
that other people are encouraged as they're going through those. So you know that you're not alone. You're not by yourself.
absolutely.
And then one of the main things that I try to hone in on is that our past decisions don't have to define our future.
Not at all.
They really don't.
Nope.
And a lot of people, you know, get stuck in that. Stuck in that. So that is very interesting. That's something I did not know.
Yes.
So tell us about this YouTube. So I know you have you recently hit over 2,000 followers, right? So how did the YouTube page evolve?
Okay, so the YouTube page was all my husband. He had this dream one day, and he was like, look, we're going to start a YouTube channel, and, you know, we're just gonna, and it's going to be based off family and faith. That's why our name, well, like we go by live, led love, which is living life led by God and loving the journey. So, and basically everything across on our YouTube channel is just things we do. People can get to know us. We sing, you know, my husband's a minister of music. We're his praise team. My sons, they're the drummers, you know, like, so you get to see all these things. You get to see when we do Bible time in homeschool, you get to see, you know, how I do things. And, you know, he thought it was really important to share, you know, and because other people they want to do the same thing. You know, they want to homeschool. They want to, you know, have child actors. They want to, you know, so we just thought it was important to share what we were doing as well.
And also important to see a family dynamic that is healthy and that's working.
Yes.
You know, that's able to grow together. So funny. There are so many similarities right now. So my husband, at the church we used to go to, was a minister, was the worship leader. Well, and we have a podcast together called Learn Together, Grow Together. And it really started because a lot of people would see us on the outside and like, oh my gosh, they're doing so many things. This is happening. And we wanted to bring the reality of our life to the forefront, because a lot of things are happening, but there's a lot of things that had to take place to get spot, you know. And so we wanted, because I think a lot of people, they want to get to the end, or like they want to duplicate or copy what they see that is going on, but they don't know all the stuff
to get there.
Right, the stuff that you had to work on. So that's super interesting. I'm sitting up here like, we're gonna have you guys on the show to talk about, because one of our main things is blended families.
Yes, he'll be very happy. He'll come. He'll do it.
We gonna book you. I got a note for that.
Sorry. But yes, I love that. We'll be really excited to do that. We had this. We were doing live with Sean and Key, and we were talking about different family topics as well. So that would really be beneficial, like to other people, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's so important because a lot of people are in that blended family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And then going back to what I was saying earlier, that, you know, life happens, stuff happens, you grow, you know, and you learn together, grow.
Yeah, I could learn together, girl.
But you learn from those mistakes, and you don't have to continue making them.
Exactly.
Especially if somebody else made them before.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, so you're homeschooling, you have your blog,
Mm-hmm.
you have your YouTube page.
Oh, we forgot the model thing. Do you want to hear about
Yes,
the actor?
yes.
Okay, so Xavier wanted to be, he's always wanted to be like a singer. He does like all these different talents. He tap dances, sings, plays the piano, plays the drums. So we thought that, you know, why don't you just be an actor? You know, and you can do all those things. So he's like, yeah, of course I'll do that. So he's been on like Nickelodeon and, you know, all types of things. And Jaden has even been a drummer in A Girl on the Train. You know, Xavier's been in Sesame Street. Like,
Wow.
yeah, Ariana's now, she's like in a Play-Doh commercial. She did a short film. She's in Blue Man Group. Like, so they're doing, you know, they're doing their own thing, you know, and that's something they wanted to do. So Jay, he doesn't want to do it. So we don't make him do it.
Right.
I'm like, oh, you don't want to do it? That's fine. You don't have to do it. But, you know, the other two, that it's something that they want to do. So we support them 100%.
So I know just from a couple of other moms that I know that have kids in the business, and a girlfriend I know who's also an actress. That is so demanding of time, right? Because when they call you for that audition, you have to be available.
Yes. If you want the job.
Right. If you want the job. So, because I had thought about it, I'm just gonna go back to me. I'm a slacker, people.
Yeah.
I'm a mom slacker. I thought about doing it, but I was like, oh my gosh, am I really going to be able to commit, you know, to the level of commitment that would need to happen so that my kids would be able to land the jobs, you know, that they want? How is that for you?
Me and Sean really tag team this. So he does like the paperwork. He talks to the, you know, what's it called?
Manager?
The casting directors. He does all of the reaching out. I don't send not one email unless he says, are you available this day? If so, can you send an email to let them know? I'll do that, you know, but he handles all of that. Like when we have style sheets and, you know, if like when Ariana had Play-Doh and they had something else, you know, we have to bring stuff, even though they might have clothes, you know, they ask, can you bring such and such and such and such? He does all the styling.
Wow.
Yeah, I take them.
So it's definitely a tag team. It's definitely.
Yes, it is a huge tag team. He helps. I help him. I should say that. So, yeah.
What advice would you give for any parent who's interested in doing that, in involving their kids? What should they know? What should they know before they get started?
Oh, definitely have time to be able to pick up and take your kids to wherever they have to go for the audition or callback. If you're looking for a talent agency, I would strongly suggest you have somebody you know or a lawyer, you know, that knows the business to look over your documents. You never pay for anything. So if you get in talent agency, they're like, oh, will you pay $600 and then you're in the talent agency? That's not how they work. You never put any money up front. That's usually a scam. That's always a scam.
I got scammed.
Yeah, that's a scam.
$500 later.
Yeah, never put any money up front. Whatever they get paid, what you get. So like if you get paid, they get 10% or 15% or whatever is on your agreements. But those are the huge things. Those are the really big things. And another thing, like, as a parent, you might want to do it, like, but don't force your child. Like, I don't think they should be forced into doing it. Cause I see kids, like I saw a girl today and she was not trying to hear what her mother was saying. Like, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And she was like, no, I'm not. And I was like,
I'm tired, mommy.
yes. I was like, so like I really wouldn't force them, but because there are children that actually want to do it, so,
Yeah.
but that's my advice.
So for your blog,
Mm-hmm.
what would I guess your blog and your YouTube video. Well, first let me go back. You have all these different things going on,
Mm-hmm.
in your homeschooling, so you're giving to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing your blog, which is personal, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a part of what you're passionate about. You
Yeah.
being able to express yourself and share of yourself and your experiences. Then you have the YouTube, which is kind of like family oriented,
Mm-hmm.
that the family can do something together, and then the kids have their own individual aspirations, and we're, as parents, we're called to cultivate
Yes.
their giftings.
Yeah. Oh, I have a blog post on that.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Check that out. That's super important, though. Super important when you hone in, or I don't want to say hone in, but when you begin to discover and allow them to discover who
Yeah.
they are,
Uh-huh.
and when you identify their gifting, like, the best thing that you can do is help
Yeah.
enhance and cultivate that,
Yeah.
because that's what they were created.
Uh-huh. That's
But I guess my question is, so you have all these different facets and areas going on. How do you secure the marriage unit? How do you find time?
um now that you say that, I realize that we haven't been on a date night in like a month maybe. But that's not like I like to go out. So, that's my thing. So he's probably not even thinking, I know he's watching it.
Husband.
Yes. So I know he's not even thinking like, oh, we should go on a date night, because that's really my thing. Like, I like to go on date nights. But we try to go on date nights often. Um, we And if we don't go out, we'll do something in the house when the kids go to sleep. We spend time together almost every night after we're both working. Like, if he's editing and I'm doing a blog post, we'll come together, watch a movie, stuff like that. That's probably another reason why I go to bed so late sometimes.
Mhm.
So and it's hard because he also works. He works 7 days a week. So because he's working all the time, it's also hard because sometimes he's tired, but a lot of times it's me falling asleep. So yeah, but but we do the best we can. We do the best we can in the season that we're in right now.
Right. And I think that's so key, what you said, understanding seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So good to have you guys on the show.
Yes.
Understanding seasons, because every season is different, especially when the kids are younger,
Mm-hmm.
or even older. Like, and that puts you in a different season.
Yes.
So what, out of all these things, or let's take each category. So let's take homeschooling, and then let's take the blog,
Mm-hmm.
and the YouTube, and then we can kind of talk about anything else that you might want to. What has been your greatest challenge in those areas?
Because those are like I want to say because those are like three totally separate things. But
What
I
are
try
your greatest challenges individually?
to.
Like,
So homeschooling, now it's more so getting the kids to do things they don't really want to do. So, like Ariana doesn't like to write. She'll do math all day, but she doesn't want to write. So it's like, you know, trying to instill confidence in her, you know, the confidence that I didn't have. I know when I was a kid, that's probably why I didn't like to write. You know, that she can do this. And this actually happened the other day, and it's on the YouTube channel too. And I'm like, you know, you can do this. Repeat after me. You know, like you can do this. And, you know, she had some tears, and then it was just like, I came back like 2 minutes later and she had those sentences on the paper for me. So it's like, you know, but those are like, you would think that they're not really big challenges, but they're huge, especially like if I didn't have coffee yet.
I see your cup of coffee every day.
Yeah. So if I didn't have coffee, yeah, it's tough, but yeah, it's tough. It can get tough. And then the teenagers, just, you know, trying to keep them on some kind of schedule, you know, like listen to what I'm telling you. If I tell you to come downstairs at 9 o'clock, you need to be downstairs at 9 o'clock, you know? So those things are, they sound so small, but they are huge, because then everything gets pushed back throughout the course of the day. You know, like I have meal planning to do. I have, you know, like we need to get on the ball. But that's really it when it comes to homeschooling them. I really enjoy it. I enjoy teaching them because I get to see the fruit. You know, you don't see it right away, but like I remember when I was teaching Ari to read, or Jaden how to do long division, you know, like when you see it later and they get it, you know, it's like, it's like, this is why I do this, you know? So I'm thankful that I'm able to do it, but yeah. All right, what was the second one?
So the challenge is your greatest challenge concerning blogging.
Just finding the time to do it. That's my greatest challenge. Like I keep telling myself, you know, you're going to get on, you need to be on a schedule every Monday and Thursday, or every Monday and Wednesday night, you need to be writing, you know? So sometimes I end up meal planning, or I end up editing a YouTube video instead, you know? So I get like my blog kind of gets pushed to the back burner, and, you know, just keeping up with it and staying consistent every single week. That is my greatest challenge right now.
Well, I looked on your website. It looks great. Like there is so much information out there, and I'm like, wow, I'm slacking.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
You are doing an awesome job. I just wanted you to share what the challenges were, just in case someone is, you know, interested in going that route, and maybe something that they would or should think about preparing themselves for.
Yes. And definitely like, if you're not a techie, because I am not huge on technology, it took me, I'm not even going to tell on myself, but to set up my blog, it took me a long time, like a week, like all day, every day, you know, like design and everything. But, you know, like, I feel like once it was complete, it was like, whew, you know, like my blog, it is my baby. It is. My blog is my baby. So like, if that's something that someone wants to do, like just do it. And you don't even have to do that. Like you can just go, Called to Be a Stay-at-Home Mom was a WordPress blog. So it wasn't like my own, you know, hosting and stuff like that. So it was just something, you know, that's free, something that you can do. You can design it as, you know, as you want to design it and things like that. So just start, you know. So same thing with vlogging. If you want to like YouTube, if you have YouTube aspirations, I want to be a YouTuber. Yeah. The biggest thing is people always want to let me wait for the camera. Let me wait. Let me wait till I get a ring light, you know, and things like that. But people just want to see you. They really want to hear you, you know, so just show up.
So how was it? So did it take you a long time to get 2,000 followers, or was that?
I feel like it did. We've been We've been vlogging for 2 years.
Mm.
Yeah, we've been vlogging for 2 years because Sean Jr. was a baby. And so we have 2,000 followers now after 2 years. So it takes time. It takes time to be on there. You know, you just have to stay consistent.
Right, right. But you have committed followers.
Yeah,
So, yeah. Oh.
now we do.
Well, I am one. I subscribed.
Thank you.
And I got your newsletter. I subscribe to your newsletter as well.
Oh,
Your blog. Um, so the last one is challenges with um, do you feel like you have, I know you were talking about the challenges with homeschooling, but do you feel any challenges with just being a stay-at-home mom?
yes. I know that in the past I struggled bad with self-care. Like it was bad. Like everything I was pouring into everybody's cup but my own. Like I wouldn't get my nails done, I wouldn't get my hair done, you know, just to save money, save that little bit of money here and there. And, you know, I wouldn't go shopping. And my husband's like, you need to buy something. You need something, buy it. Like, what is wrong with you? You know, and I'm like, but Xavier needs something or I already needed something. So I just got theirs. I wasn't trying to spend that much money, you know? So that always happens. And I'm finally, since last year, finally started to fill my own cup up, you know, because how can I pour into other people if I'm empty?
Right.
And, you know, so I do little things, even if it doesn't cost anything. Like I can go to Target and walk for a long time with a Starbucks in my hand and I will be perfectly happy.
My favorite drink is a matcha lemonade.
Oh, I never had that. I love the vanilla chai latte and the white chocolate mocha. So good. I haven't had one in a while. I might go to Target tomorrow.
Steal those moments away just to like have sanity.
Yes. It's so important. And I think that's why I really decided in the mornings, you need to get up. Like I need to get up, you know, and just have that quiet time with God, have that quiet time working out. So I don't have kids crawling over me while I'm trying to plank and, you know, and I can have coffee in peace. Like definitely. Self-care is everything. It is.
I believe it. I saw your post. I don't know if everyone follows you, but I saw your post where you were showing your stomach after having 5 kids and your weight loss and that process. And I was super.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just wanted to applaud you on that because that was a big step, but it's like it's truth. Like I have 4 kids. I physically have 4 kids, and then I had a stepson. But yeah, body changes, things change, and it's such a struggle to make sure that you're taking care of you.
Yes, it really is. And I felt like if I'm not confident, like we're gonna have a problem in this house. You know, even in my marriage, like I need to be confident. And I was like, I need to take care of myself. I need to work out again. I'm not used to this. You know, I'm like, my son is 2 now. I need to get my life together. So like, it's important to me, you know? So that's one thing that was very, very important to me.
I think you're doing an awesome, awesome job. And as I'm listening to you, because see, there are things that I have discovered that I didn't previously know before we started this conversation. And I just want to encourage you to continue sharing your story. You know, even you were saying the name of your blog initially was
Called to be a stay-at-home mom.
Called to be a stay-at-home mom. And I think that there is so much more that you have to share with people, just even having experienced some of the things that you've experienced and even your interpersonal development, because there is a development that had to take place internally in you to get you where you are today.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think that so many women need to know what that process looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what there was something going on with me, and I share it in my book. There was something going on with me that caused me to make certain decisions or be caught up in certain type of relationships and find myself in certain dynamics that I had to come to grips with myself and work on, you know, these areas for me to even be at a place where I can promote, you know, when passion meets purpose, or I can promote, you know, being whole and not allowing your past decisions to define you. There were some things that I had to work through, you know, in terms of self-confidence and what actually am I looking for? You know, what was I needy for? What was I in need of? And can't blame everybody, you know, for stuff and decisions and choices that I made that landed me in certain positions that it landed me in. And so I just want to encourage you to continue sharing that story, because it's those pieces in between that a lot of women are missing. Like, you know, they don't get that work or that process or that healing that has to take place within yourself before you can get to where you are. And so to see you doing so many things, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna keep saying it because your kids, so you're young. Tell us the ages of your kids again.
2, 4, 7, 13, and 16.
To have so many children under the age of 13, like I just remember for me in those time periods, I was just like running around like a rabbit. Like, all right, are you eating? Are you doing this? Like in survivor mode. Like I just got to make sure you got this and you got that and you got.
Yep. Oh, I did the laundry. Oh, good.
Right. It wasn't until they got to a certain age that I was like, okay, I have a little freedom to find out what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so I applaud you, and I wanted you to share your story, because even with your kids being younger, you're still in touch with what you're passionate about, you know, and you're still working towards that. So before we close, can you tell us a little bit more about your passion? And I know you say your passion and your baby is your blog, but a little bit more about, I guess, maybe how you uncovered that and what it does for you to be able to share in that way.
It definitely, like I said before, it gives me an outlet, just to kind of put my heart down and just to try to be an encouragement to others. I'm also passionate about my family. Like they are like everything to me, you know? So it's like, you know, the reason why I homeschool, the reason why, you know, I do all these things is really for them. You know, it's, you know, the blog is for me, obviously, you know, that's for me, but I'm sharing about things that I've learned with them, you know? So it's like motherhood and, you know, marriage and, you know, and the same thing on our YouTube channel. It's like just being able to share our lives. So people see the real. People see me one day if don't have my coffee and I didn't commune with Jesus in the morning. I might be yelling at my kids.
Another person, right?
And Xavier will be like, you need to go have your devotion. Like, it's, you know, like, you go back to your room, mom, you know, like, no, you guys just need to listen to me. But, you know, like, we all have those days, and just to be able to be real with other women and moms is everything to me, you know, being able to help others. But yeah.
I think that is so awesome. And I love the way A lot of times when I talk to women, or when I am even sharing about encouraging people to find out what they're passionate about and align it with a purpose, a lot of times people are thinking that, like, well, what am I good at? What is my talent? Or what do I do? Well, it is what you do really well most of the time, but a lot of people don't think, like, I can be passionate about family. Family life, about sharing how you can create a dynamic and a strong family and a healthy dynamic. Like, that's a good thing too. And so I think that that is so awesome in the way that you're displaying that passion, and you are aligning it with purpose because you're sharing it with other people who can be impacted by it.
Yes, I love that.
And that's my thing. Like, I believe that the passion is for us. It fulfills us. It makes us feel good. But the purpose impacts other people.
Yes.
So how are we going to touch others with what we're passionate about, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm just so glad that we had this conversation.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
I think that there's so many things that I could pull out. So I'm sure that there will be other collaborations that will take place so that you're able to continue to share your story and to be purposeful in the things that you do. Before we go, can you give everyone maybe like some updates as to things that are coming up, or ways that they can reach you and contact you?
Oh, yes. You can reach me at KIS-Chronicles.com. Also, the Purefoys, and we are on YouTube, as well as Team P Showbiz with a Z.
Oh, I got to get that one. P Showbiz. Okay.
Yeah, at gmail.com. That's our family email. And there are some actually great things coming up. Me and the family are going to be doing like photo shoots. We're working now. We're actors, I guess. But we're going to be doing some very fun things, some photo shoots, some more music spoofs. I don't know if you've seen any of our spoofs.
I love God.
I'm homeschooled. Sean writes all of those, by the way. He just gives us our lyrics and is like, okay, learn those.
So creative. You guys are so creative.
Thank you. But yeah, and I'll be updating the blog. We update daily on our vlog. So if you want to check us out on YouTube, you can just watch along with us. On Instagram, we are the Purefoys, and I am Keys_Chronicles on there as well. So.
Well, it was such a pleasure to talk with you and to have this conversation. I am excited about the stuff that's going to come, not only out of you and your husband, but out of these kids that you are raising. Yeah. You guys are so intentional to make sure that, you're cultivating them. And I just can't wait to see the giftings that spark up out of your investment. You're like, I can't wait.
I'm waiting for that fruit.
I'm on the freedom path. I'm like, when are we out? Like, when are y'all leaving? That's a whole nother we're going to talk about that on the podcast. Yeah, it's a new season for the Grays over here. But but I'm glad. I'm glad that we were able to have this conversation. It has been fun.
It has. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you for being on. And I always close every video or podcast or whatever it is that we have going on with this saying, when passion meets purpose, great things happen. And I'm so excited about the things that are happening in your lives and in your family. And I thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.